Neon white.
Hello and welcome to Volume 10 of my completion of Sapphire medals. We are hitting triple digits with the number of medals obtained, signaling that the end of this series is very close. But I'm not sad this series will eventually finish. I'm frankly dying to get the full Sapphire sweep, as this has taken way too long. Something that has also contributed to the length between videos are the levels that I improved on that I have covered before, of which there are a good amount this part. Not spending all my time getting Sapphire medals, compared to the last couple of parts, obviously delayed this video getting out, but we still felt like these improvements were necessary. So what Sapphires did I get this part? Well, you probably already know of one, but as for the rest, it will be slowly revealed, starting with...
Let's see anyone beat that.
This level keeps up the trend of dealing with the most difficult levels first in my opinion, but ultimately most levels here were around the same difficulty, so I can't tell if I made the right decision here. I also wanted to play this level because a tutorial came out for this level some time ago that ended up helping me tremendously with learning the new strategies I needed for the Sapphire. The main one was the fireball discard at the end, which wasn't that painful for me because I expected to have a very low success rate with killing every enemy. I also tried experimenting with the pillow strat and hit it a couple of times, but was just as frustrating as the other start, and I ultimately felt like learning it was a waste of time when just going for the Sapphire. There were a lot of mistakes in this run, especially at the beginning, so seeing this run back would hopefully motivate me to clean up those mistakes for a more satisfactory run in the future.
That's how it's done.
This video has a lot of Sapphires on levels I would consider to be forgetful, including this one. With the barrel timings down, all of the time save comes from the bullet boost, with the first set being just fast enough for a good pattern with the second set, which is a lot more important than I gave credit for. I don't remember how fast I got this medal, but I do know it would have been even faster had I actually bothered to turn off the stomp/bang, making those crucial bullets actually visible to aim at. Seeing how my previous ghost got ahead of me at the start, how I missed one of the bullets in the middle, I know there is a fair amount of time save left for me to get, but I don't know how willing I am to remember that this time save does exist in the first place.
That's how it's done.
This is a level I was dreading to do and heavily considered doing much earlier, but I just felt like other Chapter 9 levels had to come before this one. The main reason why this level was so unappealing was figuring out the start, but luckily for me a tutorial for the level was made which helped me learn that start and made it bearable. However, the rest of the level retained its difficulty and was changed just enough that I couldn't retain my experience from getting the amethyst. This follows with many other long and difficult levels that each individual part isn't that bad, getting a run that hits everything is near impossible. I can once again see mistakes in my run that makes me not happy with my run, but with how frustrating this level can get for me, I think I just have to accept this time for now.
That's how it's done.
I do not think of this as one of the hard Book of Life levels, which is why this one in particular was saved for later. Originally, I wasn't thrilled with needing the door clip at the start for the Sapphire, but I learned that it actually wasn't that hard, and it became easy to consistently pull off. The angle of the fireball became more annoying than the clip itself, and couldn't remember how to get the chest in a timely manner. The other awkward part was switching between the Dominion and Book of Life cards. Those parts were my main time losses, and I fully believe that I can come back to improve on those in the future.
I just keep getting better and better.
After Switch, I took a large break from getting new Sapphires to improve those levels shown at the start of the video, and only came back when I got tired and frustrated with some of those levels. While this is one of my favorite levels, it had been a while since I last played this level, and the reality of not knowing what I needed to do hit hard when starting out. I changed to 4 rockets at the start, but I don't know if I did it fast enough to save time. There's even a new route, but I heard that it was extremely difficult and dropped it very quickly. After getting the Sapphire, I tried pushing for a little bit more and got another tiny PB, but it's still not at the level I want to be at, and will continue to push a little bit more after this video is done.
I just keep getting better and better.
While I saw this level as very easy to get the Sapphire, and could have held back on it for a little longer, I started to get worried about other people's experiences with the medal, with them claiming a big difficulty with the medal, so I decided to do it now to check if their claims were valid. It could just be how late I chose to do this medal, but I had a pretty easy time with getting the Sapphire. The self-bullet boost has a setup, but it's not entirely consistent, so I made sure to cherish any run that made it past that point. The ending was also tough, with killing both shocks and carrying momentum through the balloons, but I had experienced those same problems getting the Amethyst, and had learned how to avoid those problems. I once again pushed past the Sapphire time for something a little more satisfactory, but I still believe that I can go even further beyond.
I just keep getting better and better.
As I have mentioned before, the rest of the Chapter 1 levels are around the same difficulty, and I decided that this one was marginally harder than the other ones left. There isn't a lot going on with this level. Most of the route is exactly the same as the Amethyst. The only thing I needed to do differently was hold A on the last 2 bombs, which I previously wasn't comfortable with. This run was pretty good. I'm not entirely sure how to go even further, or if I have to incorporate the self-bullet boost, but I'm good with this run and this level for the foreseeable future. This level fell into the textbook example of being so easy that I feared getting the Sapphire before I got the full Amethyst sweep, so I abandoned the level for a long time. It is technically possible to get the Sapphire without the self-bullet boost, but only one person has done that, and it's advised to go for it. I saw that the medal was possible even when standing still for a moment to increase your chances of getting the boost, so I went for that, although I still tried and hit a couple of bullets while moving. Making the gap proved to be difficult, and I never quite figured out the optimal positions to hit the barrels. While I did push a good amount below the Sapphire time, I still believe I can go further with or without incorporating this fast self-bullet boost.
That's how it's done.
These last few medals were chosen by how far my PB was from the Sapphire time, not in terms of difficulty. I would say this medal required a lot more effort than the previous couple levels. The main problem with the demons were the 4 tripwires after the first ringer, as anyone playing the level can attest to, and the main problem with the time save was the bullet boosts afterwards with the stomp card. This level heavily revolves around resetting until you can get both every demon and the bullet boost necessary, and then not choking the ending. My time is one of the faster runs I had compared to my DNFs, so I'm pretty happy with my time and I'm good on playing it for now.
Let's see anyone beat that.
At the end of the last video, I teased that this level could be the hardest Sapphire to get. Now that I've got it, do I feel the same way about it? No. Although that could just be either from experience or my enjoyment that came from playing this level. I fully anticipated needing to learn the quickest possible kill, but after the buff to the time, I also had to learn a form of death abuse. This involved learning the 4 damage start, modifications to the middle, purchase damage, the air swap, and the death abuse. Obviously stringing everything together makes the level difficult, and there are a couple of places where I lost time, meaning I do want to come back to the level soon enough to clean up those mistakes. Finally, this is the only level of this video that didn't make it on the list. Yes, all of the other 9 levels had a PB that was within 0.1 seconds of the Sapphire. I thought I was done with list inclusions for the most part, but this unfortunately marks a new record for the most amount of list inclusions in a single part. I decided to show every level here instead of repeating myself 9 different times. Regardless, I'm glad I'm finished with this level and this part, and that it overall was a great level to play again. And there you have it, 100 Sapphire medals. Now that we've reached the triple digits of Sapphire medals, the end is very much in sight. It's time to conclude some storylines and start to finish some others. So I hope to see you then, and thank you for watching.